y'all, it's me, Hetty, and I'm back again. And what am I making this time? I'm making fried squash. Southern style fried squash. How my mama taught me. I got about, I don't know, I think that's about 6.5, 7-ish yellow squash. I have 2 eggs. I'm trying to make this where y'all can see good, so it's a little awkward for me. I've explained to you I have short arms, and to get the right shot, that's kind of in the middle of the table, so it's harder for me. I've got about 3/4 cup of just all-purpose flour, and I got 1 cup of yellow cornmeal. Please, folks, do what you want to do. I can't control you. Do it the way you want to do it, and this is how I do it. Don't use cornmeal mix. Buy yellow cornmeal. Or if you have to, buy white cornmeal. Just get regular old cornmeal. There's a difference, believe me. Alright. I also have about 1/3 cup of just regular old buttermilk. I have about a teaspoon of salt, 3/4 teaspoon of pepper, and I have almost right at a teaspoon of sugar. That's optional. Up to you. This is how I make it. Alright? So, first of all, getting this going, I've got my heat on right now while I'm talking. I'm just mixing this together really well, and I'll continue to mix that off camera. Okay, you get the idea. But I'm go ahead and put my spices in, spice dump, bam. Okay, now I'll finish mixing that up on camera. All right, and of course what I'm gonna do, these were washed before I sliced them, and I'm gonna beat my egg up. Oh, I need a whisk. Be right back. Got it. That was about 2 seconds. Anyway, I just beat my eggs up pretty good. Pretty thoroughly. Boring. At least I didn't. Okay, I'm being evil again. At least I didn't make you watch me cut every single squash. I've seen that before, you know. I try not to do that. Alright, that's good enough. Real time. In goes my buttermilk. And I'm going to give it an extra good beating. Okay, I'll do that off camera. Okay? This is so simple and yet so good. So, that's going to be my egg wash here. And I'm going to go away for just a second so I can start getting everything ready. I might want to put some gloves on too, so I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I threw a pair of gloves on. Now, in all honesty, I would like to inform you, when I'm just making this regular at home, not shoot the video, I do not use a pair of gloves, okay? I just use nice clean hands. But being that I'm at the table, I'd have to stop, get up, wash my hands, come back, blah, blah. Which, if I have to, I will. But anyway, there you go. So, again, boy, that ice maker just always knows when I'm videotaping. It's crazy. Alright, there's our buttermilk egg wash, right? And here's our yellow cornmeal mixture with the salt, pepper, and the sugar and the flour. And of course, here's our nice, clean, sliced squash. Now, I'm also not going to make you suffer through me doing this whole batch. So, I'm going to show you a couple of times. Alright? And again, I'm trying to hold this where the camera can see it. I'm just going to start with a couple of slices here. So, of course, I do this, right? Make sure they're coated well. Give them a little shake. So I'm not just dragging all of that egg mixture to the flour and cornmeal mixture. Boom, boom, boom. Put that down a minute. And show you. Boom. Little toss. Little toss. Little toss. And poof. Perfectly coated. Really good flavor. So let me get another skillet full done. That grease is getting hot. You know how I know? This is how you can find out. See that sizzle right there? It's ready. So let me do these really quick, and I'll come back when I'm throwing them in the pan, okay? Be back. Alright. I'd like to make a couple of notes, and I changed my right hand glove because I always just, dredge and all that with one hand, because that way if something happens, you've got a clean hand. So, anyway, let me show you what I'm talking about. You want to, when you do an egg, and you do your egg wash, Then here, let me put these red ones down. You don't want to crowd. You don't want to throw everything in at once. You need to give it room to toss when you're like this. See, do 2 or 3. Don't throw in like that. Then you're just going to have a big cornmeal mess, okay? And then just have your plate like that, okay? Now we're ready. I know those grease has been saying, please put me in. And I know it's ready because, you know, I tested it already. Now, pointer number 2. Oh, while I'm doing this, let me tell you, if your egg wash is getting a little low, throw you another dollop of buttermilk in there and crack another egg if you have to. You know. But anyway, it's no big deal. The egg wash part is irrelevant and does not have to be an exact match to, you know, exactly 3/4 cup this or blah, blah, blah. You know? Now, number 2, I see people just throwing everything into the pan. You're not going to get a good quality fried piece of squash. My mom always told me, do not. I'm going to cut that up a little bit. Do not overcrowd your pan. I'm sure a lot of you folks know that. But if you don't, maybe you're just starting out. So, I'm telling you. Believe me, I don't know everything. By a long shot. But anyway, this is how you do it. I'll probably get one more in there, but I'm not going to fight it since I've already started these up. And if you can measure, probably the best temp to fry them on is in between 350 and 375. Now, in all honesty, I always try to tell you everything. My squash, I cut it up last night. So it wasn't room temperature. So, as if I just went, you know, to the farmer's market, just bought them fresh and then brought them home, washed them and sliced them. So that, I think, affected my temperature because I normally do not go up to 375. But anyway, we're going to get these going. And it's just a little bit, you know, it's a learning curve if you're used to it. If you know how to do french fries, then you can do fried squash. And I'll tell you what, I don't know if I need to make a separate video for that. I don't have any right now, but this is how I do my fried okra too. And it is good, son. It is good. So anyway, without boring you, I'm going to let these go, and when I flip them, I'll just pop back real quick and give you an estimate about how many minutes it was. You just kind of have to walk, like I tell y'all, some things you can walk off and leave it, and some things you can't. This is not something, it's just like french fries or anything else you're frying like that. You know, scrambled eggs, you can't run off. You got to stay with the food, okay? Otherwise, you'll have a nasty tasting, yucky mess. And now, I also wanted to mention, you can always add, you know, I tell y'all, if you're a regular viewer, I undersalt my stuff most of the time. And I see a lot of people, when they do their squash, people do it different ways, none of my business, but they salt and pepper the squash. Well, it's just like when you're doing fish or something, you know, you want to add your dry ingredients all to the same bowl. So, you see that's getting going pretty good now. I'm going to check underneath one. I said I was going to cut, didn't I? Okay, yeah, we're not there yet. So, I'm going to cut right now and quit rambling. And when I do flip them, I'll tell you, and I'll time it and let you know, okay? I'll be back. Alright, y'all, I'm just updating you. It's been a little bit less than 3 minutes. They're getting some color now. With me, I might flip mine back. I go back and forth sometimes. And just like with french fries, you know, you've always got those couple of french fries that get done a little sooner than the rest of them if they're not exactly uniform. And usually I'm hand cutting mine. All my stuff isn't uniform. But it's getting some beautiful color on it. Even if I do flip it, it'll be for just under a minute. And that would be tops. Because I wish y'all could smell this. Man, it smells good cooking. And so there's your update, all right? Otherwise, if they're totally done, if I flip them one more time, I'll let you know. And if I don't, I'll just show you when I pull them up, okay? Otherwise, I mean, you get the same thing. You're going to have to do batches over and over and over until you get all your squash done. You know how many squash you need? We always had, now we just crazy for squash. So we always had maybe one and a quarter squash. If you're crazy for squash, then you probably want to go about one and a quarter squash per person. You know, less for kids, obviously. I don't know. I have raised 3 sons, and my youngest one, they called him Bottomless Pit. He's cute as a button, but he's 17 now, but he's still Bottomless Pit. But even when he was little, if he liked something, he could eat more than a man. So, anyway, I'm rambling again. Okay, see, if I might flip these just a little bit, you can see they're still getting that good color on there. And of course, if you got a deep fryer, that's it. I don't care for a deep fryer. We had one a long time ago, and I ended up giving it to somebody. I don't know. I don't have it anymore. I know that because I never used it anyway. I just do mine on stove. Well, in this case, my induction burner for the camera, but I do mine just like my mama. And if I was really doing this, I love this pan. I've told y'all about my stuff, and this is another one of these things. This is over 100 years old. It's not in perfect condition. It's been used my whole life. And my great aunt, who was born in 1877, it was my grandmother. My grandmother was the baby of their family of, gosh, I don't know, 9 or 10 kids. You know how it was back then. But anyway, long story short, she had this as a young girl, cooked with it. So my mama, just fresh out of high school, my mom and daddy got married because he had to ship off to Korea. And he was gone for almost 2 years. And so my mama lived with my grandparents, and my great aunt always lived with my grandmother. She was just part of it. My Aunt Lou, I loved her to death. But she gave this to my mama when my mama was like 18 years old. And my mama treasured it always. And every pan of cornbread, pound of cornbread, whatever you want to call it, but any of that things like that. She'd make cookie cakes in this. We had cornbread. We fried in it. You name it. And I'd never get rid of this pan. I love it so much. I keep it seasoned and ready to go. But really, I'm cooking such big batches. I got me a bigger pan, but I use it on my stove. I didn't. It's heavy for me to get out right now. You know, my neck and everything. So anyway, I rambled. There you go. And in the meantime, I rambled so much. Thank you, coffee maker. Thank you for notifying me that I rambled too much. Anyway, look here. These, maybe these two might need to be flipped. But look at that. They're perfect. I don't think I need to flip all these. They're perfect. Let me just, I'll grab a plate. Give me 2 seconds. Now look. Always put a couple of paper towels down on your plate when you pull up, whether it's french fries, okra, whatever you're frying. And you won't have a greasy mess to clean up. And your food, even though it'll taste good, it won't be so greasy. Well, you know, unless you like it like that. But anyway, look at that. There you go. That's how you do fried squash. Wasn't that quick and easy? I mean, you have no idea how easy it is. So, there you go. When I get all these done, I might pop back on the video and show you. Otherwise, I'll just take a picture. That's perfection right there. And too hot to taste, and you know I rarely taste anything on camera. But I've been making these so long, I can tell you they're good. I admit it. So anyway, there you go. I'm going to get some more in the pot. I'll come back. You know what? Something else I want to mention. I see where other people in videos, I just can't believe it. They tell you, oh, just discard that. Why would you discard that? I cut it a little thicker since it's smaller. And man, that's just as good as everything else. See, there's no little one. Now, I've seen them just throw that out. I don't get it. Tell you to cut the end off. You got to cut the ends off. And if I see a little dark spot on there, I'll cut it off too. But anyway, I wanted to show you that. Don't be discarding that stuff. Cut it all up. Cut your ends off. Wash them good. Cut your ends off. And that's my second batch on. Because I was talking, I should have been breading as I talked. But anyway, don't throw those out. Okay. Back to what you were doing. I will report back when they are all done. know through the magic of YouTube, I just put my last batch in. Now, I told y'all mine were on the cold side, and I did this pretty quick. But I want to tell you something, a couple little things. Number one, the thickness of your, ooh, that's hot. Anyway, depends on how you cut it. I cut mine maybe average about a quarter. I wouldn't go a whole lot thinner than that. Now, if you want it a little crisper, you can go a little thinner, and you can go a little thicker if you want it soft in the middle and crunchy on the outside. So that's really good too. But I'd average about a quarter of an inch. And something else I want to tell you. When you have a batch going, let's say one little guy's getting done, like these little guys, they're getting done quicker, right? So if I pull them up, and they're really ready, I left them for the video. Okay, I pulled them up, right? So now look, I got a little, let's say I've got my plate still here full of squash ready to put in the pan. Don't be tempted, because every time you put something else in, see, these are going really good. And if you put something else in, you're bringing the temp of your oil down. That's same thing with fries, anything like that, okra, anything that you're frying like that, it makes it soggy. And that's one of the things, keep your temperature going the way it is. And I think that's what all I wanted to say. Oh, one other trick, that's my daddy's trick. When we did fries or anything, or squash, or anything like this, okra, he'd start out, and I showed y'all that first layer. Then he'd lay 2 more paper towels down. That'd be the next layer. 2 more paper towels down. I've done that 4 times now. This will be my last batch. And I'll just take, let me show you what I'm using. Fold it down like that. I'm going to lay that there. That way you're getting that extra grease off of them, top and bottom. I mean, you know, unless you want them greasy, and some people do. Remember, the sugar is optional. And I guess if you're splitting hairs, cornmeal mix, if that's all you can find, be it white or yellow, that's better than nothing. But I guess you could probably get some off Amazon. I don't know, of course, I live in the South, but it seems to me a couple of times I could not find anything but a corn muffin mix up in Ohio. So I do understand that they have different things, and they might not have what is prevalent in the South, traditional Southern cooking ingredients. So anyway, I guess there's always Amazon, but I bet they'd want a pretty penny for it. But anyway, there you have it. There you have it. I will say it again. Perfect fried squash. See, he's a little one, and I took a phone call, so you don't do that. But he's the only one that was like that. Thank God. I left him in with those other 2. He was one of the third one. But they didn't get like that. I don't know why. They were on the other side of the pan. Anyway, and you're going to have hot spots in your pan. So remember that too. You'll know if one little section's getting done sooner, you have to flip them, take them out. But like I said, don't be tempted to put something in its place, because you'll bring that oil temp back down. Anyway, I'm just sharing with you how I do it. In a pinch, I guess you could use all flour. It wouldn't be the same. It'd be good. I've had them both ways. And it's really good to season your flour like you do your fish or something. And I'm going to tell you something I do. I didn't do this because I made a basic video. But I would like to tell y'all, normally if I'm just making these, no camera, no nothing, I'm going to put some Cajun seasoning in there. It really kicks it up a notch. Doesn't make it too hot, but it really gives it those notes of flavor in there really good. So anyway, I'm going to end this video with that. I have a picture of the plate all piled up, nice looking, in the beginning of the video. Alright? Onward to the next video. Thank y'all for joining me, and please, if you're not a subscriber and you like this video, at least hit like. If you really like it, I would appreciate the sharing. I really, really would. And also, I would really love it if you would subscribe. Okay? I'll see y'all next time. Bye!